What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday mornings, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name After Sound. And the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. Links in the description below. Check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, I want to talk about Spellbook purchases once again because we are seeing quite a fantastic trend here of purchases over the past couple of weeks. So actually, let me go ahead and refresh this because it doesn't seem like the data is completely up to date, but no worries. I made a separate chart that we can reference later. So, aside from this day, whatever this was, that we did not get any purchases, you can see November 22nd was at 3. We had November 24th at 7, 5 here, 3 there. So it's actually been quite significant. And I'm going to share the numbers with you, but especially when you look at the 6 month, right, you start to see it there a little bit visually. We can take that out. You can start to see that there's something going on in the past couple of weeks, right? On the 3 month, might be a little bit easier. Let me remove the amount of players. But again, it's slowly and steadily, but it is statistically significant. So actually, let's look at the 6 month here because I just want to look at the player signups. Now, you check this out, and while the scale is off because it seems like we had a lot of signups earlier in the 6 month period. Obviously, that was, over the summer, things just got to a really bad spot with Splinterlands. We got to the all-time low for SPS of 0.004 or something like that. It was pretty bad, right? But since that time, you can see that there has been a little bit of a trend reversal here. But what I essentially did was just take the amount of spellbooks purchased at each of these different time frames, right? So you got 6 months, 3 months, where is it down here? So 166 last month, so the last 30 days, 71 spellbooks, and then of course over the last 14 days, there's been 41. And all I did, let me share this little chart here with you. All I did was take the average sold per day across these amounts. So you can see 6 months ago, again, this is including the last 2 weeks, right? But the past 180 days, the average was 1.76 spellbooks purchased per day, right? Then it went up to like 1.84 when we were looking at the last 3 months. The last month, all of a sudden jumped up to 2.37. And then specifically the last 2 weeks, which has obviously come after the election here in the US when things have really taken off, the average has jumped up significantly, 2.93. I mean, this is like a 50% growth or higher than when you're looking at the 180 or 90 or the 6 or the 3 month, right? It's actually kind of crazy how much it has gone up in that time frame. Now, you might look at this and say, okay, so one extra person signing up per day, well, big deal, right? That's not going to matter. It doesn't mean much. Well, again, it's all in context here. First of all, the power of compounding, right? If we're getting one extra person a day, that's an extra 365 people per year. You only need a couple of those people to be at my level or higher, meaning like, the whales or the dolphins, whatever you want to call them, that are spending thousands of dollars in the game to really make an impact be felt. And if we're getting 365 extra shots per year, that's not bad. But what this represents to me is something more important, that the trend is changing, that we're seeing this actually pick up. And while, this number, this average number may not ever get like super sky high, the fact is that with the tides changing, following the election, following Bitcoin's massive bull run, there is interest again. And it feels like, and I want to be very specific about that terminology, it feels like late 2020 when we were at, really the beginning of the next 2021 bull run. Again, there's a lot of things, people throw a lot of different metrics out there. So you can say that, some of the numbers line up or all the charts line up. Again, I'm just going off of feels, which again, there's nothing scientific about this, but I'm saying that the metrics are all out there already. But again, I wasn't around in Splinterlands, obviously, in 2020, but I was around crypto. I was around Bitcoin and seeing just kind of the natural sentiment going on. Obviously, Bitcoin dominance being a huge part of the conversation. So with all of that excitement, with all that anticipation, obviously, January is when the new administration goes in. There's a lot of talk about a strategic Bitcoin reserve. There's a lot of talk about crypto-friendly policies getting put in. This, to me, once again, represents something that is very statistically significant. To add on top of that, and I know this is just anecdotal, but we are seeing players on X, on Discord, new players coming in, announcing that they're new and that they want to learn about the game and that they want to check it out and they're asking for help. And you're seeing folks that are delegating cards, delegating SPS, the community doing what it does best, and that's actually helping players get onboarded and be a part and, just bring people into this awesome community that we have here. So again, it's anecdotal. This is the data. There's obviously other data out there when we're talking about crypto in general, but to me, this is very, very exciting. So now that we've had a couple of weeks since the election, right? I think today's the 25th, so it's about 3 weeks. I wonder if I was to get like the last 3 weeks worth of data, what that would look like. But again, the last 2 weeks is fine. There's been enough. There's been enough like new Bitcoin all-time highs that I'm happy just looking at the last 14 days. But it's been a ride, guys, and I am very excited about where we are headed. So just wanted to share this trend with you. I did say in the last video that I talked about Spellbook purchases on the rise that I would want to follow up after we had several weeks of data. So that's what this is. And as you can see here, again, just very, very basic. For the statisticians out there, right? I'm not one. I'm just sharing this data with you because I think it is statistically significant. We're seeing more folks come in. We're seeing more interest. And SPS is still struggling to stay above a penny. So just imagine what happens when the gaming narrative takes off. Imagine what happens when alt season takes off. Imagine what happens next year when Splinterlands starts to deliver all of the things we are waiting for. Land, hardcore mode, Conclave Arcana. We get SPS to a couple of cents. Everybody on X is talking about how much they're earning per day. And I think this number will start to rise significantly. And not even that, we won't even have to look at this. I think you'll start to see it in the rest of the ecosystem, whether it's SPS, whether it's card values, whether it's battles, increasing, whether it's wild pass purchases. All that stuff is going to be really cool. So very excited. Just want to share this with you guys as a little bit of a pick me up. I know that the market's dumping today, but overall it has been exciting in Splinterlands and it still feels like we're pre-gaming. It still feels very early, which is fantastic. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.